minutes before Saturday's shooting at a California synagogue that killed one and injured three others. Too late, though, to stop it. Mourners gathered yesterday at the funeral for 60-year-old Lori Gilbert Kay, who was killed after witnesses say she jumped in front of the synagogue's founding Rabbi Goldstein, who was shot in the hands during the attack. He published a defiant op-ed in the New York Times detailing the harrowing events. The alleged gunman, who faces murder and attempted murder charges, is due in court for arraignment today. The FBI has arrested a U.S. Army veteran accused of planning a terror attack in California as retribution for the shootings at New Zealand mosques last month. 26-year-old Mark Stephen Domingo is charged with attempting to provide material support to terrorists following his arrest on Friday night. Officials say he took delivery of what he thought was a live bomb from an undercover officer posing as a bomb maker. According to a federal affidavit, after considering various attacks, including against Jews, churches, and police officers, Domingo decided to detonate an IED at a rally scheduled to take place in Long Beach this past weekend.
So let's ask ourselves, Mika, I'm going to be watching this, and we're going to be watching the Justice Department, and we're going to see whether this man arrested for plotting a terrorist attack and the killing of people will be released, just like the Coast Guard lieutenant that plotted an attack and the assassination of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the Democrats that are running against Donald Trump and members of the media. It'll be fascinating to see whether we now have a catch and release policy for domestic terrorists, which, of course, right now, the Justice Department does have a catch and release program for domestic terrorists. We'll see. I mean, Donald Trump is so soft on crime that he actually had a guy. He is so weak and soft on crime that he actually had a guy that had this incredible stockpile of weapons, was a drug addict as well. Had a manifesto that was inspired by a white nationalist that killed over 70 people in Norway. And Donald Trump is so weak, so flaccid, that he actually allowed this domestic terrorist to walk. So we'll see if the same thing happens in San Diego and whether the Justice Department under Donald Trump, because he says it's his Justice Department, is really that toothless and that weak, and whether he's really going to let Americans die. That is, I've got to say, Barack Obama, George W. Bush,
not on their watch.
Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, not on their watch. They wouldn't be so weak and timid and impotent as to let a domestic terrorist go. But that is exactly what the U.S. Attorney in that district did. That is exactly what the Justice Department did. And, of course, Donald Trump likes for you to think that that's his Justice Department. So make no mistake, somebody who wanted to assassinate Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, Kirsten Gillibrand, and other Democratic candidates running against Donald Trump, they're out of jail now. They're out. So we can't do anything. Oh, are you that weak, Donald?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what happens in San Diego. Let's see if you're just as weak and feckless. This is one of the most liberal catch and release programs I've ever seen in my life.